Before the gods had names, before the sky had a ruler, before the earth knew form or direction, there was chaos. Not darkness as we fear it, and not destruction as mortals imagine, but something far older, an endless, formless existence where all things were possible, yet nothing had shape. In this boundless void, there was no up or down, no time, no death, no life. Only raw potential waited in silence. Chaos was not empty, it was expectant. It was the womb of creation itself. From chaos emerged the first whispers of existence, not born through violence or intention, but through inevitability, as if the universe itself exhaled for the first time. And with that breath, reality began to stir. This was the dawn before dawn, a time when power had no throne and destiny had no name, where forces greater than gods lay dormant, waiting to awaken. All myths begin here. All legends trace their roots back to this endless moment, when nothing ruled and everything was about to begin. Gaia and Uranus, from the depths of chaos arose Gaia, Earth herself, not merely land or soil, but a living, conscious force. She spread outward, forming valleys and mountains, stone and fertile ground, becoming the foundation upon which all future life would stand. Gaia was creation made tangible. She was stability in a universe that had known none. Above her stretched Uranus, the vast sky. He arched endlessly over Gaia, wrapping the world in stars and storms, becoming her equal and her counterpart. Together, earth and sky formed the first great union of existence. From their bond came harmony, but also tension, for where creation grows, ambition follows. Gaia gave shape to the world below, while Uranus ruled the endless heavens above. Their union birthed not peace, but power, raw, uncontrollable power that would soon take form as beings greater than anything the universe had yet known. This was the first balance. Earth below, sky above, and between them, destiny began to move. Birth of the Titans. From Gaia and Uranus came the Titans, vast immortal beings of unimaginable strength. They were not gods as later ages would know them. They were forces of nature given form. Each Titan embodied an aspect of the cosmos: time, memory, oceans, light, order. They were colossal in stature and ambition, their presence reshaping the world simply by existing. Among them stood Cronus, the youngest of the Titans. He was not the strongest, nor the largest, but he was the most cunning. Where others ruled through might, Cronus ruled through thought. Yet even in this early age, darkness crept in. Uranus feared his own children. He saw their power and trembled before it. One by one, he imprisoned them deep within Gaia, burying them in the earth they were born from. Gaia suffered, and from her pain, rebellion was born. The seeds of betrayal were planted long before blood was spilled, and Cronus was listening. Cronus betrays Uranus. Gaia could endure no longer. The imprisonment of her children was a wound she could not heal. In secret, she forged a sickle of unbreakable stone and turned to her sons. Only one answered her call. Cronus rose against his father, not in rage, but with cold resolve. When Uranus descended to embrace Gaia, Cronus struck. With one decisive act, the sky was severed from the earth. Power changed hands in a single moment. Uranus fell, defeated not by strength, but by inevitability. And as he faded, he issued a warning, one that would echo through time. Cronus had won, the Titans were freed, and a new ruler claimed dominion over the cosmos. But this victory was stained with prophecy, for the cycle of betrayal had only begun. Cronus ruled as king of the Titans, but his reign was not one of peace. The prophecy spoken by Uranus lingered in his mind like poison. He had overthrown his father, and now fate promised the same fate would befall him. Fear consumed Cronus. He saw enemies not in armies, but in the future itself. When his wife Rhea bore children, his terror turned to cruelty. Each newborn represented a threat. Each cry echoed with prophecy. Cronus believed power could defy destiny, And so he chose an unthinkable solution, one that would secure his throne forever. Or so he believed.
Their destiny is mine to keep.
One by one, Cronus devoured his own children: Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon. Gods swallowed whole, trapped alive within their father's body. Rhea watched in horror as her children vanished into darkness, immortal yet imprisoned, alive yet powerless. Cronus felt relief with each child consumed. The future, he believed, was now under his control. But destiny does not die so easily. With every act of cruelty, Cronus strengthened the very force that would undo him, and Rhea's grief hardened into resolve. When Rhea bore her final child, she could not endure another loss. Guided by Gaia, she fled under cover of night. She carried her newborn son across seas and mountains to the hidden island of Crete. There, in a sacred cave, she gave birth to Zeus. This child would not be swallowed. This child would live. Rhea knew the risk, but hope, once born, cannot be silenced. For the first time since Cronus took the throne, the future slipped from his grasp. To deceive Cronus, Rhea wrapped a stone in swaddling cloth and presented it as her child. Without hesitation, Cronus swallowed it whole. Satisfied, he believed the prophecy undone. But fate had laughed. While Cronus ruled in ignorance, Zeus grew in secret, beyond his reach, beyond his sight. The king of Titans had been outwitted by a mother's love. Zeus was raised in secrecy within a glowing cave. The goat Amalthea nourished him, while armored warriors clashed their shields to mask his cries. He grew swiftly, strong, intelligent, and aware of his destiny. Stories of his imprisoned siblings filled his mind. Tales of his father's tyranny shaped his resolve. Zeus did not dream of ruling, he dreamed of justice. And when the time came, he would return, not as a child, but as a challenger.
The time has come.
When Zeus reached adulthood, he left Crete and journeyed toward his father's domain. He did not announce himself. He did not raise an army. Instead, he entered Cronus's palace disguised as a servant. Patience was his weapon, strategy his shield. The fall of a tyrant would not come through force alone, but through reckoning. Zeus offered Cronus a potion, one that would undo years of cruelty. The Titan king drank, and then the impossible happened. Cronus expelled the children he had swallowed. Gods returned to the world, alive, unbroken, and furious. The reign of Cronus ended not with a throne shattered, but with his secrets exposed. The age of rebellion had begun. The war between gods and titans raged for 10 years. Mountains were torn apart, seas boiled, the sky burned with fire and thunder. Neither side would yield. The cosmos itself trembled beneath their fury. This was no battle for land, but for existence.
This ends now.
And Zeus knew victory would require more than strength. Zeus freed the Cyclopes from Tartarus. In gratitude, they forged him a weapon unlike any other, the thunderbolt. It was lightning given form, pure divine authority. With it, Zeus became more than a challenger. He became inevitable. Armed with thunder, Zeus led the final assault. One by one, the Titans fell. Cronus faced his son beneath a sky torn apart by lightning. Fate was fulfilled. The Titans were cast into Tartarus, sealed away forever. The old age had ended. With victory secured, the brothers divided the cosmos. Zeus claimed the sky. Poseidon took the seas. Hades ruled the underworld. Balance returned. But power had a new king. Zeus ruled as king of the gods. He was not perfect. He was not gentle. But he upheld order. Thunder became law. Lightning became judgment. The sky now had a ruler. Zeus's rule was mighty, but flawed. His betrayals strained his marriage to Hera, queen of the gods. Their conflicts echoed across Olympus. Even kings are not free from consequence. From Zeus came Athena, Apollo, Artemis, Hermes, Heracles, and countless others. Each carried his power, and his imperfections. Through them, myth was born. As long as storms rage and thunder rolls, Zeus endures, not just as a god, but as a symbol of power, fate, and the eternal struggle between fear and destiny. The king of gods remains.
Subscribe to watch more.